What if I told you I can teach you exactly how to make 10 to 50K a month with just learning how to do cold email through AI? What if you could learn a skill that every business on earth needs right now? You can master it in 30 days. You can start getting paid almost immediately. That's exactly what I'm going to reveal to you in this training. Across over 175 successful campaigns, I've generated over $10 million in total pipeline value for clients, booked more than 1,000 qualified demo meetings, and helped clients add 20 plus qualified demo bookings per month. If I can do it, anyone can, especially using AI. So, who's this training for? So, this is for freelancers and side hustlers, anyone that's tired of competing on price platforms. They want to build a sustainable business model that pays 3 to 10K monthly. Anyone that is looking to find anything that can replace their full time income with a skill based business, start with virtually zero startup costs. There are some things you'll have to pay for infrastructure with, but it's incredibly cheap compared to starting any other business out there. And I've done it all from drop shipping to crypto to anything that has been under the sun as a different alternative to a 9 to 5. And this is the method. Aspiring entrepreneurs, anyone that wants to leverage communication skills into serious income, every business needs clients to survive. That's just a fact. And anything that's going to be able to bring them clients is going to bring them money and bring you money. So the beautiful truth is businesses need this service. It's not optional. You have to have clients to have a business, and you have to have lead generation tactics to be able to bring in clients. And that's where your opportunity is. A lot of people assume this only works if you're already an expert or have a big audience. AI has changed the rules of lead generation. It's no longer about reputation, it's about precision and volume. That's where these tools excel, and that's what this program is designed to help you with. So, what you're going to discover is the new lead gen model. As I mentioned, there are a lot of AI integrations now with this kind of business model, and that's exactly why it's so scalable and so successful. How to get those clients on retainer without being too salesy. We're going to expose why old cold email methods are dead, reveal why the approach to getting 30 to 50% response rates are converting clients at scale. Then we can go over the 5 most profitable niches. Not all industries are equal. There's certain businesses that respond well to cold email and lead generation. So what are those niches that you're going to want to be able to look into, as well as the complete system? What is the infrastructure, setting up your landing page, setting up your clients to be able to be successful within the first 30 days, how you can build irresistible offers. By the end of this video, you're going to have a complete roadmap for understanding how you can even start your own cold email or lead generation business. So let's go over why this works. Right now, millions of businesses, SaaS companies, agencies, consultants, coaches, real estate investors, all of them share one critical problem, which is they need more clients. If you want to make more money, you have to have more people buying. If you want to have more people buying, you have to gauge interest. So people use paid ads, but are expensive. Social media takes a while to build. SEO could be expensive as well and takes 6 to 12 months. So I found cold email for predictable outbound to be the most successful because it's good for testing and it's good for finding exactly what's going to work for you without breaking the bank. This is exactly what I've taught people on how they can run the cold email generation, teaching current agencies or different SaaS companies that are just trying to bring people through the door, as well as networking. Doesn't scale particularly. Of course, networking is beneficial, but this is something that we can be able to do at scale with cold email. So this is how the proven outbound system works for B2B sales with cold email lead generation. Is the first step we'll take is understanding what is the ICP that you want to target. Map out the TAM, which is total addressable market, and understand how many people we're targeting in all. If it's 50,000, then we'll be able to understand the exact number of the total people we're targeting, as well as how many emails we want to turn that into per day, per week, per month. Then the email conversion infrastructure, being able to set up our domains, being able to set up our inboxes, and then the entire sequence, having our sending platform to be able to automate these cold emails so we're not sending these things out one at a time like it was in the old days. Next, lead to call optimization. The exact kind of replies you want to be able to give to people that show that they're interested, to be able to book calls, build a sense of trust, and be reputable in your outreach. So what's the old way and what's the new way? So the old way is just spray and pray, generic emails, those promotional emails that you typically see in your inbox, and you just want to send it to spam right away or block the number. It's also immediate sales pitches when it's just not an attractive offer. Manipulative subject lines that lie to you, tell you that you're going to get something for free. These kill trust. And maybe they're a good method for opening emails, but no one will ever buy from you when you're doing this. Also, random contact lists, if you're not creating your list the right way, you are essentially spraying and praying no matter what kind of message you have to your audience. So the result is 0.5% response, spam complaints, and zero clients. The new way is hyper targeted outreach to qualified prospects. You're going to want to lead with value and specific insights. And when I say lead with value, I'm talking about being able to have a lead magnet. Maybe you're giving someone an outline of what you've done for them or what you can do for them. Or maybe you're even showing them the game plan on what you've done for a competitor of theirs so they know that there are competitors using businesses like you, as well as being able to show more competency towards their industry and what you do for a living. Then there's the AI powered personalization at scale. You can be able to use different systems to be able to find buyer intent and then specifically message to that area. So, what I mean by that is, let's say, for example, you have 1,000 companies that you want to be able to say, we can help you get more clients, like a specific case study on their website. You can be able to go to some of these systems, these AI systems. You can then look up exact case studies that they have for the clients that they've worked with, include it into your messaging. So then every message out of all 1,000 are all personalized to clients that they have worked with, and it looks like a custom email. So you do this, of course, make sure that you have your own qualified list at first. And this is going to bring you a much higher response rate, as well as book calls that actually come in with credibility. So the business model that prints money, you partner with a profitable business where you can choose from high value niches, build their cold email system, earning 2K to 5K monthly for each client, scale to 10 to 25K. And then you kind of rinse and repeat this system, honestly. So it just depends on kind of how you want to price it out and exactly what you want to do. If you generate one client worth $10,000 to a business and charge $3,000 monthly, you're not expensive. You're the best investment ever. So you have to think of it in terms of exactly what value you're providing them. This is why the recommendation is to always work with businesses that sell high ticket, because if you just get one deal through the door for them, you're essentially covering 3 months of your service for them. So that's why it would make sense for them to buy from you. So a real example here, I had a client that sells $50,000 services to businesses. We book them 8 to 12 qualified meetings a month and they close 30%. So if they're getting those 2 to 3 clients every month, then they're making $100,000 to $150,000 every month. And they pay us $4,500. It's 22x ROI. So it's just a no-brainer as to why they would want to invest in our services. So here's why B2B teams have chosen me and exactly what the method is that you should be able to replicate. If you're running someone's cold email or even your own cold email system, you want to be able to search up your ICP, then enrich the kind of companies that you want to be able to source into. Then, of course, the lead gen area. You're being able to build out the catch-all emails. You're able to see who are the verified contacts you want to be able to talk to, what is the copy you want to create, and then going on from there. So you create the personalized scripting of the exact pain points that you want to target, and then you put it all into an email sending tool, something like an Instantly or a Smart Lead, where you can then send all of these emails at scale, where you can be able to send, let's say, 5,000, 10,000, 15,000 emails a month, or even a day to reach out to clients. So you can be able to do either the performance base of $500 plus $300 per lead, or you can do the more retainer model, which could be $2,000 a month to $5,000 a month, all depending on how confident you feel and what you would like to be able to go with. If you are just starting out, the pay per booked call is definitely the best way to go. So most people fail because they try to help everyone. And really, when you're selling to everyone, you're really selling to no one. And that means that you need to specialize in a particular niche. So why specialization wins? It's because you're able to charge premium rates because you are a specialist in the area, and there's nothing more important than having that. You're able to get results faster because you're working with a repeatable system with the exact type of people that you know how to work with. Next, you're building up your reputation quickly within that industry because you're hyper focused, and your marketing becomes effortless. You have case studies, you have people that you work with, you have any kind of proof and value that you can then provide to current clients and new clients. When you're selling all over the place, you can't really show that to a local business landscaper that you can do their job well because you've done cold email for B2B SaaS. But you want to be able to stay within one niche because then you can kind of prove who you are through all of your case studies and testimonials. So the top 5 niches, where the money is. I recommend personally B2B SaaS companies, marketing and creative agencies, local service businesses, recruiting and staffing, as well as high ticket coaches and consultants. Now, it goes without saying that I think all of these should be high ticket for when you target. For B2B SaaS companies, they have a lot of people trying to book demos, some heavily funded agencies and B2B SaaS companies that would be really beneficial to be able to bring leads through the door. A lot of these companies struggle because they don't focus on content or even ads. So cold email works incredibly well for B2B SaaS companies. Same thing goes for marketing creative agencies. The best part about this is marketing creative agencies are more knowledgeable about the idea that cold email works with things like maybe a local service business. The main issue here will be that you'll have to convince them why cold email works. Marketing creative agencies, they are more educated within that particular niche. So it's more convincing them why you are the person for the job. Local service businesses, as I mentioned, you're going to want to convince them exactly why this cold email is going to help them and help their business. But at the end of the day, when you're reaching out to people that are local in the area, you're scraping leads using Google Maps and you're finding people within a close range of an area, you are able to be incredibly personalized to a small group or a city where people know that you are not just spraying and praying to just about anyone, but it's only to a specific region or area. Recruiting and staffing, a lot of these agencies, as of someone that's personally worked with a recruiting agency, a lot of them use outdated and old systems. They call one person at a time, they email one person at a time, and they are just working with dinosaur systems that they have. So this is why it's really beneficial for recruiting and staffing, especially when you mention the idea of introducing AI into their system. It's a good buzzword that gets a lot of people excited. Next, high ticket coaches and consultants. This is a newer model of what people are looking for when it comes to outreach, but it is beneficial, especially if the high ticket coach or consultants is very specialized. It'll help your targeting as well as in the value proposition. So how to choose your winning niche. So the criteria that guarantees your success, make sure that it's a high average transaction value. This is why we want high ticket sales. We want to make sure that our value, if you're even just able to get one sale a month using your cold email system, that it's more beneficial to have you as someone that works with your client as opposed to not. You don't want to have to push 7 to 10 deals through the door just for people to break even on your service. Where if you sell high ticket, you only have to make one sale for your business to make sense for 2 to 3 months. That's how we keep people on long-term deals. Next, finding clear decision makers, knowing exactly who is in charge of hiring your service, your cold email lead generation, knowing exactly who your clients' decision makers are so you can target the right people for them. And of course, really just making sure that you do this because of the idea that if you go to a manager, then you'll have to get a yes from them and then they'll move you up a step. And then you'll have to continually do this and get around 5 to 10 yeses before you can get a deal in. If you're just choosing the decision maker from the start, you only need one yes to be able to get a deal done. Of course, the next step, identify a pain point, something that they are struggling with that you're currently helping with. And the whole idea of having a business is solving a pain that other companies cannot solve or just struggling with. So identify what pain points that your lead generation service or your business in general can solve, and then leverage it through cold email. Understand people's marketing budgets. This is another reason why we don't want to work with companies that are not selling high ticket or are not making that much money, is because they have a marketing budget set out. And if you're working with smaller companies, maybe 1 to 10 people, they are going to have an incredibly short leash on what you do. So, of course, make sure you work with people that are high ticket value as well as people that have a marketing budget. So it's a good question to ask companies when you're outsourcing and you're looking for the right prospect. Then a recurring revenue potential. So you could do the retainer model, not one-time projects. As I mentioned, you can also do pay per lead. That's something I'd recommend a lot of starters do. So you can be able to prove your value as well as not have to worry if you're taking money from people when you shouldn't be. While you're learning the system, pay per lead is very good because it benefits you for being successful and it also benefits them for what you're able to accomplish while you're still getting paid and not doing this for free. Of course, next, easy to research. Find their businesses online quickly, do some research on exactly what niche you want to be able to go into, and then, of course, really just build from there. So here's the 5-step system for how to set up the email infrastructure. So week 1, what we're doing is we're buying the domains from a system called Porkbun. That's exactly just where we buy domains. It's at the best price. So that's why I recommend Porkbun. Next, we go to the company's scaled mail. Scale Mail, I recommend. Again, I'm not a referral partner of them. It's just genuinely valuable. We go to Scale Mail to be able to set up our inboxes because all we have to do is give them our domains. They will set up the inboxes from the domains we have, make them into Gmail, Outlook, SMTP, and then I particularly use the sending tool called SmartLead. What Scale Mail will do is take those inboxes and put it up into a warm up system that is in SmartLead. Of course, SmartLead has their own pricing monthly, but it is incredibly reasonable compared to anyone else. So, strongly recommend that. Again, no referral link or anything like that. So, check them out. For lead scraping tools, I do recommend Apollo, and then you can use other tools to scrape them, such as Appify, Ample Leads, Boomerang. These are all very beneficial. While the inboxes warm up for around 10 to 14 days, through week one and week two, we're working on the positioning and the niche, as well as what the offer is going to be. Think about exactly the best ways that you would want to hear from someone if they reached out to you. How can you make it a no brainer to at least get on a call, to sign up? Put yourself in their shoes as opposed to just trying to sell and push. Think, what would make you click on the offer? What would make you email back saying you want to book a call? Genuinely empathize with the buyer and think about how you can position your offer the best way possible. Research the deep, big problems. How do they get the clients now? What's a valuable lead worth? What's your average customer value? So, an example, I help specific type get specific result through your method without their main pain point. You can start with a retainer or again, pay per lead. Next, build the prospect list. Of course, you want to find those decision makers, understand who exactly they are, and then build your target audience around that. So once you have your niche, you're then able to understand who is the decision maker, and then you build the prospect list. You can be able to use Apollo, of course, LinkedIn Sales Navigator as well, industry directories. This is something where you can use Intent Data Scraper if you're looking for local leads. But if you're looking for just business B2B leads, I do recommend Apollo the most. Next, you want to write those emails, again, using the positioning that we labeled here from week one and week two, be able to write out the emails, push on those pain points while also making it a no brainer option for them to reach out to you and say they're interested or intrigued. So this is exactly what it would look like in an example here. Personalized observation for line one, credibility and context for line two and three, which is something I really recommend, value proposition for four and five, and then a soft call to action. The subject, first name, quick question about company. Hey, first name, I noticed, company name is, notice ADP has worked with this specific company and was able to accomplish this specific feat. Congrats on the specific achievement. I'm working with a few similar companies, or I can even mention competitors by name, to help them book 15 to 25 qualified sales calls per month through personalized cold outreach. Or the quick 15-minute call to explore if this would work for company name. Best, your name. You want to be able to make it sound like you're offering value and you can take it or leave it. Now, the copy can be the hardest part sometimes. The reason why I say that is because a lot of people just want to work on the right things, but sometimes their emails are too long or they're just not getting to the point correctly, or they're not focusing on the client. So what I do, of course, inside my program is, of course, help you write these out and just anything for your cold emails to make sure that they are successful. So for number five, of course, you want to launch and optimize your sending. So you want to go inside SmartLead, be able to understand exactly how you want to send it, how many emails you want to send a day, and create those settings to be able to optimize exactly how many people are going to get back to you and just the highest response rate possible. Next thing you want to do after having that initial email is having a follow-up sequence. Something you can do is add in social proof. You could say, reason I asked is because I worked with your competitor so-and-so, and we were able to get this achievement. We were able to get 5 calls a month or 5 deals a month. So just get specific with that. So for the email 3, I do recommend just continually leading up with volume. The worst thing you want to do is just kind of bump up the email and say, hey, just want to make sure you see this. I think it's really just beneficial to just continually lead with value. Maybe say, I would love to show you a cold email script I created for your business. And then the breakup email. This is kind of the last email. You're telling them I'm stepping away after this, where you can tell them, should I take you off my list? Often gets most responses because they'll either say yes, or they'll say, what is this about? And get more in depth with it. So here is kind of the math behind these follow-ups. Within 200 emails a day, you're sending out 1,000 a week. You're getting 5% replies, you're getting 50, 30% of those, you get 15 positive replies, and then you're booking 3 meetings. Let's say you close one of those 3, you're getting 1 client a week. So think about it through the numbers and really what's logical. Again, I think the thing that makes this the most successful business to be able to work within is that you're just following the numbers that actually make sense. You're not just posting content hoping people are just going to show up and buy. You have real stats that are going to prove if it's working and if it's not. And then you can always just iterate and work with that from there and be able to understand exactly what's not being the most effective. So then, of course, from there, we're going to want to launch and then scale. So from 0 to 10K monthly, the timeline looks like this, where month 1 and 2, as I mentioned, you land your first couple clients, then 3 to 4, you're being able to deliver great results, get testimonials, and land 2 to 3 more clients, making 7.5 to 12K a month. And then by 5 and 6, month 5 and 6, you're able to really scale your business. You have it pat down, the answers, the exact niche, the exact decision makers, and then you're able to get 4 to 6 clients a month. And then you're being able to just jump your income up to 10K to 18K a month from this. You're able to maybe start hiring people to be able to help out with VAs and so on and so forth. So this is exactly how you would be able to land your first clients, even without current results. As I mentioned, performance-based trial. You can do pay per lead. You can do a founding rate discount, do your own cold email system where you do everything for them, including booking them on the calls and warm outreach. You are just handing out value, handing out examples, and you're just proving yourself in a lot of these examples where you can actually learn yourself, take the time to learn without spending the money for them. You're still getting paid and you're getting incentivized on your results. So this is when lead gen mastery comes in. So here's a full guide of exactly how I would walk you through our system and what is included in it. So the biggest problem with a lot of these businesses is you're kind of flying blind. You want to be able to understand what mistakes are being made along the way and how you can be able to reach out to people and understand what you need to be doing correctly. If you don't want to figure this out alone through trial and error, this is exactly what the program is designed to help you do. As we go over the cold email infrastructure, how to pick your niche, how to build a front end cold offer, the typical pitfalls of cold email. There's two sections of one is finding intent buyers, and the other one is finding the contacts, the right decision makers. Next, we verify the list, how we can make sure that the lists that we scrape from Apollo are actually good emails, what tools I currently use within AI to be able to create this system and to be able to centralize the system. How am I able to just get all of these leads in one area, make sure I have all the messaging correct before I launch the campaign. And then next, we go over the rule of replies, how to get those interested replies on booked calls, and then overall summary, kind of tying everything together. But I think the most important thing is that people want to learn how to build this, but of course, they hit walls. And that's typically when people give up. But if you have a community like this, you're able to ask questions, get those personally answered, and then you'll be able to understand exactly how you can move forward. That is exactly why most people quit. And that's why people miss out on not being able to leave a 9 to 5, on not being able to work from wherever they want. They miss out on having their own business, all because they don't have the right guidance to be able to understand what the steps are to be able to run something like this. And that's why I have this program, is to show you how we do it. Here's what some of our students said. We have a lot of guidance. And I think that's really the most beneficial thing that I can say as part of this program is being able to guide people through step by step to be able to show you what is the exact niche you should be building in, given your experience, what are the right people to target, and how we're going to target them through the copy. So this is all handcrafted advice exactly for you based on our programs. We have the coursework as well as personalization. So you can either figure it out alone, where you can piece together YouTube videos, blogs, trial and error. Maybe it'll succeed in 6 to 12 months. Maybe you'll waste a lot of money buying the wrong tools, wasting a lot of time, damaging your reputation on your email, and giving up before you even see results. Or you can have someone who's done this hundreds of times and walk you through this exact step-by-step system with email templates to book meetings right now, the technical setup list to make sure that the foundation of your cold email is done correctly, because that is an expensive mistake. Sales call scripts with potential clients that you have, that you're booking them on the calls and you're able to close them, proven pricing models and contracts that I have templates of that you'll be able to get started on right away, daily support when you have those questions, and the accountability to make sure that you're following through with what you're saying you're doing. So for anyone that's just starting out, looking to start a business in 2026, anyone that's looking to just continually improve themselves and be able to have an income that's going to be outside of your 9 to 5 where you have to go into an office, this is exactly an option to get there. You can find all the details by clicking the link below and decide if it makes sense for you. From a logic standpoint, saving months of trial and error is usually worth far more than the investment. And just want to be able to push that idea because of the fact that it does take this kind of step by step to be able to follow through with it. Speaking from personal experience, I had many mentors guide me through exactly how to run this business before being able to fully understand that. So I've been in your shoes and I totally understand what it takes to get there. And if I can do it through following those steps, you can absolutely do that. So the question is simple. Are you willing to bet on yourself? Is a completely risk free bet on your future? And keep scrolling YouTube and staying stuck, or you can make a decision today to invest in a skill that can completely change your financial situation in the next 90 days. So if you're ready to take control of your future, roadmap is clear. The system does work. The only question is, are you going to take action? So that is the program that we have. And I will leave everything below for details on how to exactly join it below. And I'll see you in there.